Hey everyone, welcome to Plants and Politics. So, one question that's been swirling around since the January 6th attack is where do these domestic terrorists get the maps for the underground tunnels? Well, we now may have an answer. There's a man named Elliot Carter, and he runs a website called WashingtonTunnels.com. It provides the history of all of the underground tunnels and also the rail and pipe systems in DC, including the ones that are at the Capitol. And his website includes maps of all of these underground pathways. Well, Carter noticed an uptick on his website. So he reached out to the FBI at the beginning of January because he saw this massive influx of daily visitors to his site. And when he looked at the analytics on his website, he found that the majority of these visitors were being directed to his websites through links that were posted on anonymous message boards, and also websites that are associated with militias, weapons, Donald Trump. So this concerned him. And so this was at the end of December. So Will, as I'm reading through the story, what I noticed is this answers the question about how they got a hold of the tunnel maps, which was something that was of major concern. And we knew that some of these militia groups had them. But what we still don't know is how the people who were inside the Capitol knew where to go. So, what do you think? Is this like Dumb and Dumber luck? That they just happen to know where Nancy Pelosi's office is? Or do you think, as I do, that they had help? What is your hunch?
Well, first, I am blown away. I didn't know there were tunnels underneath the Capitol, first of all. So that comes as a surprise to me. I'm like, oh, tunnels. But then again, I guess you think high profile individuals are there, so they would need an emergency exit or someplace to hide if something came up. But definitely, in addition to, sharing links from this gentleman's site, I believe they had some assistance. This has to be an inside job. I mean, some of the photos we've seen and some of the footage, I mean, even the one guy that was sitting in Pelosi's office with his feet up on the desk, I mean, it's almost like they had a guided tour, if you ask me, I think. I really think there's more to it, and it'll come out eventually at some point. And I think some people are really going to go down in history and in other ways once it's found out.
Yeah, I definitely think so. And I think that's why the Republicans are fighting so hard against this inquisition, against this commission that was created to figure out what happened. Because why else wouldn't you want to know who attacked your workplace and why, and how exactly they knew their way around the building? I mean, there's lawmakers that say, they've been working there for years and they still don't know exactly where everything is, or they still get lost trying to find their way around. So, how is it these people so quickly, like that, they found Pelosi's office, they found all these other areas. And they know for a fact that some of them had maps of the tunnels.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's definitely more to it. And I'm looking forward to seeing the information come out. And again, with the Republican lawmakers that were against the commission, did you see how afraid and terrified they looked on January 6th? I mean, they wanted protection of the utmost from these terrorists. Let's just call them what they are.
Yeah.
But then when it's time to take a step in the right direction to investigate, all of a sudden, they pull back. If they could go back into how they were feeling in that moment, maybe that would change. But then again, it's so divisive in the climate, politically speaking, in DC that, all of a sudden they got this bravado like, oh, well, I'm not going to worry about it or investigate. Nothing else needs to be done. I wish they could go back, turn the clock back and remember how they felt at the moment while it was happening. And maybe, it would be a different outcome. We'll see.
That's why I think some of them were involved, because I think there genuinely some of the Republicans were like, oh, no, I want to get to the bottom of this. I want to know what's going on. And I think some of their colleagues maybe, I don't have proof of this, but it seems to me some of their colleagues maybe pulled them aside and said, hey, like, you don't want to dig. You
Right.
definitely do not want to open up this can of worms. Don't go there, drop it, move on, shut it down.
Well, it would be a hell of a bombshell when it comes out. And I think that's why, like you said, they're insisting that they don't go any further. Just leave it alone, let it be, sweep it under the rug. And because I think we'd be quite surprised, or maybe not so much surprised, to find out who was actually involved with the inside information.
Yeah, I don't think anybody on the Republican side would shock me.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't think there's anybody who I would go, wow, I did not see that coming. I didn't see that person as being a traitor to the country.
Right. Exactly.
But yeah, I mean, like, we know there was a report that came out a while ago that there was somebody, and we still don't know who, but there was somebody in Trump's administration who was in communication with the Proud Boys within, I think it was 24 or 48 hours before January 6th.
Wow.
Yeah. So we know there was communication there. We know that Roger Stone has communication with a lot of the militias, but yeah, at least this kind of solves the mystery of where did they get the map of the tunnels. And really they're used just to get people in and out faster. And like you said, in case of an emergency or whatever, but there was communication going on during the January 6th attack, where I think it was Oath Keepers, militia members were communicating back and forth and saying, seal them in the tunnels and gas them.
Wow.
So like some of them that were in the building received those messages to seal the lawmakers in the tunnels and gas them.
That is insane.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I mean, it doesn't surprise me. You mentioned the communication 24 to 48 hours prior to the event unfolding. There's communication with the Proud Boys from someone in Trump's administration. I mean, all you got to do is go back to I believe that was the first debate with Biden, and you heard the words out of his mouth. Proud Boys, stand back and stand by.
Oh yeah, they even made T-shirts and stuff with that saying on it.
I mean, that's their hero. So
yeah, for anybody to say, oh, well, they weren't communicating, or, Trump didn't support them, really? Because they thought he did.
Yeah.
They thought he supported them enough that they went out and made T-shirts that said, stand back and stand by.
Yeah, I mean, you heard the words out of the man's mouth. I mean, you can't alter that. It's his feeling. I mean, and that's a result of it. So it's going to be interesting to watch this one unfold.
Yeah. Yep. I was really hoping we were going to find out that, like, Lauren Boebert or somebody, one of those QAnon freaks, gave them the map of the tunnels, but maybe we'll catch them in something else.
I know. And it's interesting to see the new indictments come down daily of some of the people that were in there, the insurrectionists.
Yeah.
So I know you're always on top of that.
Oh, yeah. Yep. I'm going to post every last one. So, but every day, like literally this week has been a pretty hot week. There's been quite a few that were arrested this week.
Oh, yeah.
So every week that I think it's starting to taper off and we've kind of come to the end and I can catch up on the ones that came months before. Yeah, they're still out there arresting quite a few people.
So, oh, yeah.
Because if you think about it, it makes sense, because as they arrest people and then they get that person's phone and they take a look at their pictures and their videos, they're going to see other people in different crowds and in different locations that they hadn't seen before.
Absolutely.
Because originally they had said they thought that they would only be able to arrest about 400 of the 800 that went into the building. And now I think they're up to about 600. So,
oh, wow.
Yeah, nice. I think they underestimated how much evidence they would find by arresting some of these people, and it just kind of mushroomed,
Exactly. Yeah. And I mean, we live in that information age. So, and most people, they try to document or highlight special events in their life. And I guess if you're that twisted to think this is something of that type of significance, you're taking selfies, you're texting your friends, guess where I am, you're posting on your social.
Well, they're all clout chasing.
Exactly, that too.
They're all clout chasing. They're all, oh, look at what I did. Like they think they really do
Hmm.
think that they were patriots instead
Yes,
of the traitors that they are. So,
that has to be the craziest part. They call that true patriotism, and
mhm.
like you said, nothing but traitors.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. I think also the FBI underestimated how many of their friends and family would turn them in.
That's true.
I think they underestimated it, like the actual terrorists. And then I think the
Uh-huh.
FBI underestimated it too. But yeah, they got a lot of people who don't really like them.
Nothing like having the family snitch.
Yep. I mean, I can say I probably I have family that would turn me in.
I know I do. They're like, he lives right over there. Go get him.
Yep. They'd be like, "Oh, Gina. Oh, here's her number. Here's her
Right.
address."
Like, I think he's going to get a haircut at 4. Here's this barber.
Yep. Yeah. All of my Trump supporting family members, they would turn me in a heartbeat. I would be gone.
Wow.
Oh, well, I would return the favor too.
There you go. So true.
Anyway, well, thank you guys for watching and listening. Hope you enjoyed this show. Please like, share, and subscribe. If you'd like to become a friend or a supporter of the show, head down to the description box, click on the link. Will and I will hang out with you once a month on Zoom if you guys become a friend. Take care, and we'll talk with you soon.